Hi there, I'm Jules from thestonesoup.com and today I've got another fresh 6-ingredient dinner recipe for you. Okay, so for my Pop's Magic Meal, I've this is my slow cooker insert and I've got 4 large-ish lamb shanks, but you could use any slow cooking meat, one about 1 kilo, so about 2 pounds. And then I've got 2 kind of medium onions, so 4 small ones that I've just sliced in half and then sliced into half moons. And you want them fairly thin because I find that onion tends to take a long time to cook in the slow cooker. It can take longer than the meat. Then I'm just going to sprinkle over half a teaspoon of salt. If your meat's on the leaner side, you could give it a drizzle of oil, but I'm going to, I've got a nice layer of fat there, so I'm good. I'm just going to pop it in the oven. I've got the oven off, so I'm just going to pop it in the oven for half an hour, and that's just going to start to get some browning on the surface of things, and it just adds a lot of flavour to the dish because lamb shank, slow cooked things can be lacking in flavour because you don't get much browning once it's in the slow cooker. But if you're short on time, you could just skip that step. So we're going to put it in the oven. I'm putting it in a cold oven so that the slow cooker insert doesn't crack. Because if you put a cold ceramic thing into a hot oven, it can crack. It may not, but we won't risk it. So just 200C, which is 400F, for about 30 minutes. Great, so the lamb shanks have had half an hour in the oven, so they've started to brown up nicely. Onions browned a little bit, so just going to transfer them now into the slow cooker and just going to get half a bottle of tomato passata, tomato puree, or you could use canned tomatoes if you like. About a can would work. And the thing with cooking in the slow cooker is you don't want to put much liquid in because you don't get the evaporation you get when you're cooking in the oven. So that's about 1.5 cups, about half a jar. And then I'm just going to get in some sprigs of rosemary that I'm using as my flavouring. But you could use other herbs like thyme or spices as well work really well here, or you could just skip that altogether and keep it really simple. So then I'm going to get the lid on and I'm going to cook it on high I'll check it after 5 hours, but usually takes around 6 hours on high. Or if you want to leave it all day, you can just put it on low and it'll take around 11 hours. Great, so the lamb shanks have been on for about 6 hours on high, and you can see they're simmering away nicely there. And they're nice and tender now, the meat's coming off the bone. So it's up to you, you can pull the bones out if you like, or I like to serve it with the bone in because it looks a bit prettier. Great, and then I'm going to get my my frozen spinach. So I've just squished that to get rid of the extra moisture because there's so much liquid in the slow cooker, you don't really need the extra liquid from the frozen spinach. So that's 2 packets worth there. So it's about 500 grams, which would be about a pound all up. So just stir that in, adds lovely green richness. And then I've got 200 grams here of roasted almonds that I've just chopped up. So I'm going to put about 2/3 of those in and just stir them in, and they're going to thicken up the sauce as well and just make it more substantial and give some lovely crunch. And then I'm just going to serve in deep bowls with the extra roast almonds on top. So if you enjoyed this recipe, come on over to my blog. It's thestonesoup.com, and you can download a free ebook filled with simple recipes just like this one.